What's going on, everybody? This is Randall Barnes, the founder of HBCU Pulse and the host of HBCU Pulse Radio, in the building for a very special edition of the show on today. It is Thursday as we're recording this right now. It is the end of College Hill Celebrity Edition. It is over. It just got here. It premiered in June, and it's now over, and August just started. I don't understand that. But nevertheless, we're going to talk about it. We have Shelbi in the building, and we also have HBCU Pulse Contributor and Texas Southern University Alumna Domonique in the building. Domonique, how are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for asking, Randall. Very excited to be here today.
I'm excited too because, listen, we got to hear your viewpoint on College Hill because you're a Texas Southern alumna. They were down at Texas Southern. It was a lot of action down there. Y'all been going up first and foremost. Y'all been having a lot of action down there in Houston. So first and foremost, I just want to get your opinion. Just on the totality of the series, how did you feel about College Hill, the reboot filming at Texas Southern University?
Well, my initial review when I seen them, mind you, I was wrapping up my senior year, the semester that I decided to film. So the initial time I've seen them in person on campus, they were getting a tour, and my initial, my view on that was just like a group of like random celebrities. Like, what's that about? And then so when the social media announcement came first before, the BET Awards announcement, it was kind of like my first point of view was, I wonder who was in office when they were signing the contract. I just, it was just like, were the students involved, or was this just a sponsorship check that, my university was willing to do with them? I kind of already knew it was going to be very putting our dipping our feet in and not really just diving in to what the community of arriving at Texas Southern University would be. So I was just real skeptical at first because I knew it was only so much that the cameras and the producers could actually film as far as the greatness that's on my campus. And then so when I actually heard the announcements and that it was getting hosted by celebrities, I initially just didn't even know what to expect as far as a positive note, to be honest.
I think none of us really knew what to expect because I know that when we first reported on HBCU Pulse, I was very skeptical. And I even talked about it on our YouTube channel when we did a report on it. And like with celebrities, I just feel as if at first with the celebrities, you felt as if you really didn't get a chance to get that full experience. And I think that you really can truly get the full experience with students of this era. Now, granted, it might be a little bit too raw, like the earlier seasons, but at the same time, I think that that's something that we really wanted. When we think of College Hill, we think of college students. But it was also reported that it was going to be at Jackson State, but it was some situations that occurred where it wasn't at Jackson State. And it was going to be actual students, but it came to Texas Southern with celebrities because Jackson State said no. And that is on HBCU Pulse. You can go check that out. But I got to talk to Shelbi because Shelbi, we've been doing this for a minute. Shelbi know how I feel about TV, and I know how Shelbi feels about reality TV. She's way more versed in it than me. So Shelbi, I got to hear, how did you feel about the announcement of College Hill coming back and being at Texas Southern?
I honestly was surprised. I didn't know what to expect because, just remembering what College Hill was when it first started, and then now realizing, okay, this is going to be celebrities. How is that going to work? So I think, again, like you all were confused, I was confused at first. So, but actually watching it and seeing how everything played out, I think it actually was a pretty good show. There were parts that I didn't really agree with where I felt like it could have been more, but overall, I felt like it was a great experience for the celebrities. And, I feel like they did the best with what they could do.
I think so, too. I do think that they could have added a little bit more of the experience, but let's really talk about that. So let's dive into the episodes in totality. I like the flow of the show. I love the fact it was at Texas Southern. Texas Southern is a beautiful campus, but Domonique, I heard that they didn't cover the whole entire aspect of the brilliance and beautiful nature of Texas Southern's campus. Do you believe that they showcased Texas Southern the way it should have been showcased?
In my opinion, not even a little bit, or in other words, I would give them only a little bit, and that's just because we're just so spectacular. It's hard tone us down anyway. The clips that they actually showed of the campus was very much entertaining, especially the BET prep rally that they hosted for us. That was amazing. But of course, that was like literally towards the last episode. And so in the beginning of the show, I loved how they, featured the band. That was literally like oh yeah, I'm excited for this show. And then the rest of the show was hosted in their house, which was an hour away from campus. Nowhere near Houston, but I guess there's not really that much real estate, so whatever. But majority of the show, in my opinion, was hosted for the celebrities and their celebrities' dorm house, and it was like a lot of the things that we were going through, it was just way so detailed in the house. And then when we would go back to campus, it was like, yep, finish your assignment, then go back home and talk about what's happening in your personal life for like a whole episode. And then we'll get back to campus like in the beginning of the next episode. Like that was kind of the vibe I was getting. Like it was very organized, but they were stretching like what's going on in their personal lives. And that literally, if we put all of the TSU relations into one episode, or like tried to put it all back to back, it would fit one episode. Like that's how much they genuinely featured the culture and like how we vibe here at TSU, in my opinion.
No, I totally agree. Like the first 2 episodes was the Stacey Dash show. Like Stacey Dash didn't even make it to the end. She didn't even graduate. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, they fit the Stacey Dash storyline in there, I think, for the salaciousness and for the drama. And I just think that at an HBCU, there's enough salaciousness, there's enough excitement that's on campus and on the yard that you didn't need Stacey Dash to be the wild card. I just personally just didn't feel as if that was necessary. And it took away from different elements because we've done interviews. We talked to Breonna Jackson, who was the captain of the Tiger Sensations. We talked to Corey Carter, who was on the cheerleading team. And what they said was that there was a hump Wednesday and a hump night that happened when the celebrities got on campus. I would have loved to have seen that. And then you had Dexter and Alexis that we interviewed on HBCU Pulse, and they said that there was a swearing in of Slim, who was a part of SGA, and that was not in anything. They might release it, I guess, maybe on BET Plus as an extra or something, but I didn't see it. These just were exclusives that we were getting from sources. So it's just odd because I wanted to see more of that experience from them, and I wanted to see the celebrities interact with that experience. But Shelbi, what do you think?
I think that it was definitely drawn out. I got tired of hearing about Ray J and his problems. I got tired of hearing about Stacey Dash and her not wanting to participate with everybody else. Definitely, like, I feel like their problems was carrying on into like multiple episodes, which was getting old. I do feel like they should have definitely, when they went to the meeting, they got to figure out what organizations they wanted to be a part of and how they wanted to get involved. They should have shown that more because we only really seen how Stacey Dash didn't quit the dance team. Okay. So what else? What is everybody else doing? What did they, join and how did they enjoy that? It just really was kind of like all over the place. So I don't know.
No, it was very much so all over the place. And they had that one section where we saw Frida join the choir. We saw Nene and Ray J join the debate team. We saw Slim, he joined SGA. And then India went and she got counseling, which I think that was the highlight of the season for me. Like the fact that we saw India's journey and we saw like the real side of a celebrity where you have, these celebrities, we think they're all put together. They look nice. They got all these followers, but there might be insecurities that they're battling. And I really applaud India for showing us that side. And she grew. She's the MVP to me. Now, Frida is overall MVP. No, I'm gonna do it like this, like basketball. Frida's the MVP because she held the whole entire house down. However, India is the rookie of the year. All right. She was born in 96, first and foremost. So I was born in 96. And there's something wrong with us. But still, she was able to make it happen. She was able to find her way. And then that last episode, when she stood up in the class and she spoke and she talked about what she got from the experience, I was like, that's growth. And that's the growth you get from the experience. But I did get tired of the Stacey Dash points in the first 2 episodes. I did sort of get tired of them spotlighting the hijinks with Ray J. I did want to see more of them interacting with campus culture and them interacting with those organizations. But I got to pinpoint some specific situations that I really want us to dialogue about. How did y'all feel about Stacey Dash in that first episode? Because when I first watched it, I sort of thought she was getting bullied. Like, Domonique, did you think she was getting bullied? I feel like it was bullying her a little bit.
In my opinion, no, sir. You, as Stacey Dash, okay, so I don't know how exactly it happened, of course, because we're not on Stacey Dash's team, but the way she was acting on those first two episodes, even if it was her being an actor, it's just like I genuinely feel like her producer was like, Stacey, you need to do something this year. Just try it. So that was Stacey literally just trying it. She knew she had all of that black card baggage coming in there, and she just literally did not address that elephant in the room like at all, and I was even shocked that they even wanted to they cared as much as they did, because honestly, baby girl, if you want to come in here and just go straight to your room, there's like real students like that, so by all means, that's fine. It's like y'all don't get a bigger check or like a bigger award if everyone graduated, because obviously they didn't anyway. So I was happy that they did try, but it was no bullying, because it was simple. You didn't want to join any of the schoolgirls in the the student activities. So when they finally made a PSA for the sake of the household energy, you went in your room, you didn't come out, and then you literally got escorted off the show. Like, it was just very like, what?
Now
Like,
that makes sense. And I gotta say this, like you said that. Listen, like her manager was like, "Listen, Stacey, the pandemic is here. You ain't getting no bookings right now. Black folks don't like you. Get on BET. I know you said cancel BET. You want BET, and like you want to get canceled, but it's the only gig you got. Going to the HBCU like that. Like that probably was the real conversation. And Stacey was like, "Fine, I'll do it." Like, cause that clues might probably dried up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
yeah, had to, and it's crazy that when we think about the fact that she was on Clueless, because I'm like, wow, Stacey, who would have known? Like, this is your real personality. Like, outside of like classics like that, you coming up in here and like identify yourself as biracial in a room full of like mixed race slash Black African Americans. You just had to raise your hand and be like, Black and Mexican. And it was like, sis, like, you couldn't just let the other 50% of you just join the congregation. Like, she was just being absurdly Stacey for no reason, and because of that, you cannot, no, there's no bullying. Because Dream Doll and Frida both personally went out of their way to have a personal conversation with her to ensure she felt good, and she was like, "Don't you ever make assumptions. Like, I'm Stacey Dash, and if I just want to go to bed at 8 o'clock, I'm gonna go to bed at 8 o'clock, and y'all aren't gonna say I'm being a negative Nancy about it." So it was already written how she felt about it. So no, I feel like the way it played out, she had to expect it.
Now that makes sense. Like when I talk about bullying, and I want to toss to Shelbi on this. When I talk about bullying, I feel like they were singling her out from the moment she stepped in there because of the fact it was Stacey Dash and she was all up on Team Trump. She was all up on Fox News talking about cancel Black History Month, cancel BET. And they came in with that preconceived notion of what she should be and how she should act. And I can't force anybody to kick it with me. I can't force anybody to hang with me. I'm going to do me regardless. I'm grown. So if she don't want to hang with us, if she don't want to drink or do whatever with us, fine, go to your room. You know what I'm saying? Because if you want that to be your experience, I'm not going to make you have the experience that I want to have. Because in the same token, there were people that were at Fort Valley. I'm pretty sure at Albany State, Shelby, there were people like that. At Texas Southern, there were folks that stayed in their room, that went to class and went home like they were in high school, while the rest of us were engaged. If Stacey Dash wants to be that, let her be that. I just felt like, oh, Stacey, come out, Stacey, do this and that. She don't got to do that. And then she had the issues dancing and whatnot. She couldn't get the routine. She 54. Alvin Ailey, like, listen, they still doing Alvin Ailey. They still doing it, but she ain't doing it. So it's like, come on, she can't dance no more. She lost her rhythm. Her black card left with the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. She probably can't dance no more. You know what I'm saying? I see Shelby looking at me real funny right now. But Shelby, what do you think about it? You understand where I'm coming from a little bit?
I do understand where you're coming from, but I have to agree with Domonique. You came on the show for a reason. You have to act. You have to play the part. I mean, be real. Why did you come on the show to just not do anything? That doesn't make any sense. I understand what you're saying, that there are people like that in college that just go to their room, go to class, whatever. But did you really expect not to participate the entire time? That doesn't make any sense. Like, at some point you were going to have to do that. And it just, and for me, I just kind of felt like she was really trying to put on a show, because it was funny to me how they kept just, making it known that she's from the Bronx. So it's just like, why are you trying to act like you're not down like that? You know exactly what we're talking about. You know how to hang with us. You're just trying to put on this show. So I don't even know if that's like really her personality, but if it is, that's really sad, because girl, you from the Bronx. Like, I felt that when they said that. Like, why are you trying to act like you just so above all of this? Relax. So I just felt like she didn't need to be on there if she wasn't going to participate at all. That was ridiculous. There was going to be no growth if she was going to act like that the entire time.
I will never forget what Brianna told me when I interviewed her. When we did the interview, and she broke down like the whole entire confrontation between her and Stacey Dash, and she emphasized how Stacey turned New York so quick when she was like, "You're not gonna be talking to me like that." She turned real New York real quick. Let me ask y'all that because Brianna broke it down and said, essentially Brianna felt away, and they didn't show the whole entire interaction because it was an interaction, but things were cool and it was all good with Stacey after that. But Shelbi, so if Stacey Dash said, "Listen, you're not gonna be talking to me like that," how would you have reacted, Shelbi?
I'd have been like, whoa, where was this energy on day one? Where was this energy on day one? Like, why does it take you so long to actually bring out your personality? If this is who you are, be that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would have said.
You would have said, keep that same energy, Stacey.
Exactly.
Just keep that same Fox News energy. Keep that same Karen energy, Stacey. You came in Karen, you're going to be Karen. You ain't Stacey no more, all right?
Exactly.
All right, so let me ask you, Domonique, because you actually were on campus. So, like, let's say Stacey Dash just said to you, "You're not going to be talking to me like that." How would you react? How would you have felt?
So there's two ways I could say it. As a GDI, I would have been like, "Oh, okay, well, this is Houston. So, like, if you have animosity, like, let me know exactly on what level it is so I can, like, match it. And then, maybe we can come to a common ground of, like, solving it. But, even professionally, like, like, why, like, what's going on here? Like, I'm just telling you on a professional level, like, this needs to be aced. And you're coming in as now the celebrity Stacey Dash and saying, like, no, I want to do what I want to do. And, baby girl, that's not how this works, especially not at historical campuses such as TSU. So, I would have felt disrespected as like a actual student as is, because it's like, you don't just cut the show and say, okay, wait, that's not how it works. Like, I'm the host of the show. Like, I'm the star of the show. We're going to go around me. And then on the second note, as Domonique and Stacey were talking, I still would have been like, Stacey, no, ma'am. Like, you don't get to call out the cap now when, like, you're the only one capping right now. We just asked you to do it. You were all dainty and crying, like, I haven't did ballet in, like, years, and I'm a perfectionist. But, like, you just got up there with me because you did not perfect your craft when you were at home, like I simply asked you to do. So, yeah, that little switch that she did, I would have just sat her down anyway. Talk about she sat herself down, ma'am. You would have been sat down anyway, because that's just unacceptable that now all of a sudden you can correlate on a pissed off level, but you can't correlate when you were given simple instructions to, like, complete. So,
but if your background was in ballet, why were you trying to do this? This is not ballet. So, I mean, like, you should have been practicing, point blank, period. So don't feel any kind of way when you didn't do your part.
It was really insane because the whole entire thing was that was a day before the game, because they cut it really interestingly how they did the edits. Like, yes. that was before the Prairie View game. So it's like, you're going to get all the choreography in a day. You ain't Beyonce. All right, man. Beyonce would have got it. But you Stacey Dash. So it's like, you're not going to get all of that in one day. So that was my whole entire thing on it. But I feel what y'all are saying. I feel like y'all said, listen, we on College Hill. This can go to Love Hip Hop real quick. All right, listen, we can get Mona Scott. Y'all come over here and get the cameras out. We can get it happen. That's what I'm here for y'all right now. But I feel that. And like, as I talk to more people, I understand the whole entire situation of how people feel as if Stacey wasn't bullied. And I'm open to the understanding of it. But I got to ask y'all about this. So Ray J was the big topic of the whole entire season. And spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't watched it yet, please go watch it on BET Plus. Okay, the season is over. You can binge it. It's pretty good. I liked it. But Ray J eventually did not get the opportunity to graduate because he plagiarized a poem that was written by his homeboy. He wasn't even there to perform the poem. He was on FaceTime and he performed someone else's work, and they got him for plagiarizing. And also, he wasn't active really during the whole entire time. He was debating with teachers, arguing with the professors, just being a menace, acting like a little boy. and they said you can't walk. He accepted it pretty well, but he did not graduate. And essentially, Domonique, you might see him walking Texas Southern next year without cameras. All right. So, Domonique, so I want to hear how you feel about Ray J and how he was acting on the show.
Okay, like I'm gonna start with the fact that Ray J started off the celebrity ignorance. Like y'all just got into class and he wanna interrupt her over the definition of the word brand. Like Ray J, I was just baffled. Like, cause mind you, I only know of Ray J that, just do what he gotta do in the industry to like, stay in the limelight. So cool. Like, if that's you on camera, I'm not mad at you. But the fact that this is a whole different limelight that you're in and you just took it there for no reason, as if the professor was genuinely going to say like, oh, by all means, Mr. Celebrity, like you're correct, I'm outdated. And and it didn't surprise me after he took it there, because he even said in the house like, yeah, I plan on schooling everyone. He said that, and Frida was like, yeah, you're delusional, that's not how it works. You don't like tell the professors that the school books and everything like that is outdated, and it would just simply change like that. So for him to just interrupt her, and then like after she stated overly like again and again what she genuinely meant as far as just the process, and he still was like still trying to pinpoint it like, no, the process is still different with a human brand and a shoe brand. And he just kept saying those two simplified examples, and it's just like, I don't, maybe he, and because he also said with Nene later in the season that he really wanted to label himself the king of reality so bad anyway. So I think that was him just trying to put his print on, trying to be a meme or something, like a meme or something, like, because there was just no reason to just be on the other side of the fence so hard the way he did the entire time. Every time something literally didn't go Ray J's way, or if he didn't make the direction he was going, it was like excuses and like back talk the entire time for me from him.
And he's not the king of reality.
Yeah, like I thought.
Nene is the goat of a reality TV for real. And the thing about it is, she told you I can do both. I can be dramatic and I can be tame, because Nene was on her best behavior. Like Nene wasn't trying to fight nobody. She wasn't doing none of that. She was on her best behavior. So Nene like really showed me a lot. She shocked me, because when I saw that Nene Leakes that she was going to be on the show, like I knew from there, I'm like, okay, that's when the drama starts. Like I wasn't too familiar with Dream Doll, although she did become my favorite. Like I wasn't too familiar with Dream Doll before that. I heard how she was in Bad Girls Club, and I heard she really was a bully on Bad Girls Club. I can't speak on that because I didn't watch it. But I know the brand of reality TV that Nene comes from. And that just simply was not there. And then she showed a side of herself, because they showcased how, her husband passed away and she had to leave and handle that. And she talked about that in her poem. I really liked how they showcased her story. So Shelbi, like you are a big reality TV show watcher. I'll be watching sports, mainly basketball. So I want you to tell me, how'd you feel about this side of Nene that you saw in College Hill Celebrity Edition?
I was proud of Nene. I was so proud of her. I mean, Nene has come a long way as far as Atlanta Housewives and the way she acted on there. But one thing I feel about Nene is I felt like she was kind of being a little authentic. Like, you got to think about it's two different reality shows. So one thing about reality show that we got to remember, it's ultimately acting. Okay. So, at the end of the day, it is acting, but I felt like, she can definitely switch it up, and she was just really good, and I was proud of her. I was proud of the way she pushed through. And also Nene has been going through a lot, especially with Greg passing away. I think that has affected her a lot too. So that probably has a lot to do with her character now too. But she did a really good job, because Nene is a mess. I love Nene, but she really did well.
And I think that they went out of the way to make this show not dramatic. Outside of Stacey Dash stuff, I thought they were like, come on, y'all gotta let us have this. It was that this go get the views. But I feel like after Stacey Dash, it really was, we were seeing them experience the academic rigor of an HBCU, and I think that was endearing. My thing is that I just wanted to see them interact with the campus more. And I made a tweet about it. So when I saw episode 4, I made a tweet that was sort of controversial at some points, and Domonique saw it because Domonique commented on it, and she agreed with me. But I said that I wanted to see the campus of Texas Southern more. It had been 4 episodes up to that point, and we had only seen them in the classroom. We didn't see the basketball game yet. We didn't see them. Like, you see the other side of the campus. I want to see them hanging in the student center. I want to see Nene and Ray J debate the debate team. You know, like, that's what I want to see. I want to see Dream Doll actively try to become a cheerleader, just like Stacey tried to become a member of the dance team. Like, these are different things I want to see. I want to see Slim really in SGA and really make it happen, because I was in SGA and I know how those Senate meetings can go. And those Senate meetings were way more interesting than anything that was on this show, because some of them Senate meetings get crazy, especially talking about homecoming and talking about what artists you want. Like, hey, how much money got to bring Megan Thee Stallion back? Like, that can get tricky, and all the motion that can happen. I would have loved to have seen Slim interact with SGA. So my whole entire thing is that I do see how they did interweave in the beautiful campus of Texas Southern, and how they tried their best to interweave in the experience of college for the celebrities. But I personally believe that the HBCU experience is not just in the classroom, it is what happens outside of the classroom, because there's no experience like an HBCU experience. And my whole thing about it, and I stand on it, and I love College Hill, but the thing about it is that if you just want the campus experience, they could have went to the University of Houston and you wouldn't have seen a difference. You could have got some black professors. If they weren't none, you wouldn't have seen too much of a difference. But if you want that HBCU experience, showcase the campus. But I want to yield that to you, Domonique, because you are a student at Texas Southern. You're now an alumna. So how did you feel that they attacked really, truly covering the TSU experience?
So yeah, literally, in my opinion, they actually didn't. When it came, and the only reason why they did a little bit is because they were able to give such a small feature for the band, and still it was just like the intro music, just, but it just showed a little bit. And then even giving the band the intro song, like, I liked how we were in the background of that, and we did see like real band members in there. But the only other serious feature we've gotten as an actual campus, besides the Sensations, which we couldn't even give them credit because it was really just the Stacey Dash and Bree altercation. The only other like credibility the actual campus got was the basketball team, and I still can't even give them that full prop because they didn't even tell us that we won the game. Like, we won a game.
You won the game?
Won the game by 1 point. It was so.
That was a 1 point game.
Yes, a 1 point game, and the fact that highlight was Ray J in the book, I was baffled.
I'm mad now. You got me mad now. It was a good game. Was it a game winner?
It's gonna be a good game regardless. Like, that's our number one rival, Prairie View. Like, and they literally just didn't show anything saucy. I'm like, wow, that is sad. Like, if y'all.
Well, you got to take me there. Wait a minute. Hold up. You got to take me there. So Texas Southern won the game by 1 point. So you got to let me know, was it a game winner? Did someone miss a game winning shot? Was it a free throw? Did everybody go crazy? Was it chance? Take me there.
I don't remember vividly, but I believe they did go ahead and show the buzzer beater. It was a buzzer beater, and he did, make it down the court in time and shot the actual goal. And yes, we literally won like by 1 point, and right there at the last minute. So yes, everyone was at the edge of their seats. Like, it was a very serious game. And then it was a packed game. Like, and it's normally always packed, especially with a rival game, but we was lit up in there. And yeah, like, everyone was at the edge of their seats, and it was just so, like, honestly, like, if they would have just showed that alone, like, they would have gotten so much more publicity, because that, if they didn't have time, editors time to include anything else, had they just left out Ray J and his studying and just shown the last 30 seconds of the game and how, like, impactful and, like, how passionate and emotional it was, and then how, like, the celebration, the fact they went to the turkey leg cut after the basketball game, like, and didn't, just see just present, like, the engagement of the crowd and the team and the cheerleaders. Like, we got a couple of clips of the Sensations dancing, but we didn't see the cheerleaders at all intentionally have a clip during the game. Like, you went and see them cheering, anything. Like, and then, me being a cheerleader, like, I was like, dang, like, we didn't even get a little 1-2, like, cheering, especially with the buzzer beater. Like, it was just no, like, showing of the actual vibe and the culture of a rival game at a HBCU, which is just that impactful anywhere, in my opinion. I'm not sure, but I know for sure at TSU, we're going to give you a show. Whether we in the crowd or we're on the court, everyone plays a part at a TSU basketball game. And I was very appalled that they watered it down so much the way they did. It was almost as if they were speaking in even in Lamar's point of view, you know, like we were so focused on how he wishes to be a coach one day, and all of us, and you know, he did shout out one player who was doing his little thing, but it was like we didn't even really see the excellence in the basketball players who work so hard every day to get the reputation that we have, and to like win that game on our campus. Like, come on now, we should have just got more than that, and it was very watered down.
For sure. And then, you know, for Texas Southern to have won the SWAC championship, then make it to the first four, then make it to the March Madness tournament once again. And that's been consecutive years that Texas Southern has done that. And then games like that can decide seeding for the SWAC championship and for the SWAC play. Like that can determine seeding. And then, you know, for Lamar Odom side, as a basketball fan, I must say this first and foremost. Lamar Odom was a great player on the Lakers. He was on the Heat. He played for the Knicks. He was really good, and I know that he had his issues, right? But Lamar Odom was not an NBA legend, first and foremost. Lamar Odom was not going in the Hall of Fame. Lamar Odom won 2 rings with Kobe. Lamar Odom was the birth of the stretch four. Like, you see all these small forwards that's bringing the ball up the court and shooting, and then they can switch all positions. Lamar started that. Lamar was tough. He ain't no legend, though. He a legend at Rock Park, but he ain't a legend in the NBA. Like, he ain't going to the Hall of Fame. So and Lamar was sitting back critiquing the players. I'm like, Lamar, I can assure you, if Texas Southern made it to March Madness, they don't need your help, Lamar. Like, they made it multiple times. The coach know what he's doing. You ain't gonna coach Texas Southern now. Like that, they didn't give you the job, Lamar. I think start as an assistant first. All right. You're not Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is one of the best athletes of all time.
Right.
You gotta start from the bottom. You gotta be like on that Drake swag. 2013, he was in the NBA. He heard that song, he's in the NBA. He ain't in it no more. But listen, you gotta start from the bottom and you gotta get here. All right. He can start from assistant and then work his way up.
Right. I was actually hoping he wasn't talking about coaching. I didn't think he was talking about coaching our team. I thought that just gave him the initiative to want to coach a team. I didn't think he was talking about our illustrious basketball team.
He said it. He said he would love to coach at Texas or Clark Atlanta. He says 2 schools in Atlanta, like Deion Sanders. He said that.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow, Lamar. Like, yeah, that's a big jump.
That's a really big jump. And they better watch out. You might wake up one day and you'll see on Twitter, Texas Southern University has hired 2-time NBA champion Lamar Odom to be the head coach of the basketball team.
Oh, what happened to Coach?
Like listen, he gonna go right with the Prairie View. Like Coach Doodle left Prairie View and went to Southern for the football. He would have went right over to Prairie View and been like, "What's up, Lamar?" Because if that was me, I would have went over to Prairie View and I would have been like, "We want the smoke. What's up? 100 ain't gonna be 1 point this time. 100 points, telling you." But I think that was interesting. So I have to ask you all about this because I've heard a lot of mixed feelings about Dream Doll's involvement. And for me, Dream Doll is my favorite person because I feel as if she underwent growth. I'd had no recollection of her or no prior knowledge of her on Bad Girls Club, on any other medium. And by the way, she's a really good rapper. I like her. She's really good. I heard some of her songs. She's a really good rapper. But like, she was there for everybody for the most part. Like in episode 2, when you had India that ran out and had a panic attack when she was about to speak for a business presentation, if you see when they panned the camera, you had India that was in there and Dream Doll that was right there consoling her. I feel like Dream Doll, just like Frida, was sort of holding the house down and making sure everything was good. And she said she wanted to sprinkle in a little drama. I didn't see the drama. What I saw was someone that was really trying. I saw someone that loved biology because she really did great at that. I saw someone that wanted to be great. She cried over having a B, that might have been crocodile tears. Them kids might have been fake. She's a real good actress because she faked the crying in the next episode. But like, I saw someone that really wanted to be great and really wanted to get good grades. And she ended almost at the top of her class behind Slim and Frida. So my whole entire thing is that I believe that Dream Doll played her part and she did what she needed to do. And she was my favorite person. But Shelbi, like, what did you think about Dream Doll? Like, was she really redeemable for you? Or was it like,
I think Dream Doll was cool. She was definitely supportive of everyone. I liked how, even when everybody was getting sick and tired of Ray J's excuses, she always was, go in and try to make sure that he got up to get ready for class and things like that. So I think she was very, very supportive. And I was just surprised that, her personality on the show and how she was treating everyone because, of course, looking back to Bad Girls Club, that's a different story. So I think, yeah, she definitely was supportive. I didn't see her being drama filled or anything like that.
Yeah, she was my favorite person in the whole entire show.
I wouldn't say she was my favorite.
She was my favorite. Like, listen, she was my favorite.
She was my favorite, but she was good.
Listen, she was my favorite Dream. I hear that she was my favorite Dream Doll. I want to say this: I like Tabitha more than Dream Doll. I want you to say that Tabitha was given Dream
Right.
Doll. Dream Doll was I like when she became Tabitha, and I think that towards the end, she became Tabitha. She takes off the blonde wig. She puts on the nice coordinated suits. I feel like Tabitha really is going to get her far as she continues to grow within her career. And also, I want to say this too. This was a big topic for me on Twitter. Like, hey, those shoes, there was nothing wrong with those shoes. Like Dr. Cooler was tripping.
She was tripping.
I understand business code, but there was nothing wrong with their shoes. And if you looked at how Dream Doll came in, she was wearing something that was really revealing. That was not becoming of an academic environment or a professional environment. And that's something that Dr. Cooler was saying when she singled out, you can't wear that. But she comes in, both India and Dream Doll looked amazing. And you have Frida with some boots on. Like, I thought Frida was going hiking. And yeah, you got India and Dream Doll coming in. They look like they about to interview at a Fortune 500 company. Color coordinated. India had on the green plaid suit. Like, looking really nice. And you gonna say
with the French roll, you can't forget the French roll.
That was listen. I'm gonna yield to y'all, but I did like the hair. I did like that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it as a black man. I appreciate black women's hair, so I love to see that. But it's like I just felt like Dr. Cooley was tripping. So I got to get y'all's opinion real quick on that. Like, so Shelbi, like, you thought that Dr. Cooley was tripping on the shoe situation?
I did, because I've seen, women in, professional attire with their toes out. You don't necessarily have to have your toes covered. But I mean, I get what point she was making, but she was tripping, because if compared to what she was wearing on the first day of class to what she came in wearing on the day of her presentation, that's growth. Like, give her credit for that. Like, relax. The shoes were not that big of a deal.
So Domonique, what'd you think about it? Was Dr. Cooley tripping? And you might know Dr. Cooley, so we love Dr. Cooley. She was tripping. So do you think Dr. Cooley was tripping?
I do not know her. She was not in my career pathway. However, she was tripping, because even in the level of business, there's still certain levels. So, she didn't really say if it was clear or not, if it was a corporate, which it probably was, since they were shooting a commercial. However, like, if a lady walked into a meeting where there's a bunch of people, ready to hear this product, I don't necessarily think if she was tight like that, especially from the waist up, where like it really matters. If you're listening to me and you're hearing what it is that I'm presenting in front of you, you shouldn't even dare be looking down at my toes. And even if you did and seen that they were done how she said that they were, I'm casually going back to your face and minding my business and proceeding to talk about the business that we were discussing. But I guess she wanted to find her inch of putting her foot down, which I can't even give her, because I don't know. I think this was the commercial. I think she's still, how they cheated or whatever, with the whole, we both got help. And then she was like, you know what, screw it. Y'all both got help, but everybody still passed. Like, I was just like,
everybody still passed except for Ray J. And Ray J would have killed that presentation. I'm really disappointed in Ray J. I honestly am. Like, Ray J would have killed that presentation. But I feel like Ray J really squandered his potential. But I want to ask you about this before we conclude. So for me, I'm a guy, and I'm different. I like to read energy. I'm a writer. I like to read people, and I don't like to annoy people. That's one of the big things I try my best not to do. So for me, Slim is OG. That's Slim Thugger. You know what I mean? I'm from Macon, Georgia. Still Tipping was the song, and it was just in NBA 2K, I think 21, and I'm playing the game, and Still Tipping come on. I hear Slim Thug's part. Like, Slim Thug is the guy. But listen, Slim Thug, leave Dream Doll alone. Dream Doll said in episode 5, you just the bro. Leave her alone, man. Get your education, man. He graduated from there. He was at the top of his class. He was number 2 behind Frida, so he did his work. So maybe if Slim just was doing his thing and kept it cool, he bought 7'1". You know what I'm saying? So it's like maybe from there, Dream Doll would have been like, all right. But he kept doing. He was laying in her bed, and I feel like that's a little bit too far. So I gotta ask y'all because y'all are young women. So like, did y'all think Slim was doing too much? You think the flirting was cool? Or do you think he was just doing too much?
I think at that point he was doing too much, but I felt like it was a little harmless. Like I thought it was funny, to be honest with you, how hard he was trying, and I felt bad for him because I'm like, dang. You ain't never gonna get a chance, man. Just let it go. But I didn't think that it was like such a big deal, but I felt bad for him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Bad for him.
Yeah.
It wasn't more so, yeah, he wasn't like, if he was bugging, like, she wouldn't even want to be the homie no more at that point. Like,
right.
He wasn't tiptoeing on the other side of the line too much. However, like, as from a female's perspective, yeah, Dream Doll knew from the jump he was gonna be the bro. Like, look, you Big Slim, you got your credit behind you. I love the little woke, nonchalant, just be yourself. Get out of your head. Like, I love that segment he gave her. That kind of did something up to even really see him as someone she can build an important friendship with. However, like, before that point, I would have just been like, sir, we not even, on that level. We don't even blend. Like, you seen what I had on the first day. Like, I don't know if you wanted me to be a video vixen, but outside of like that type of lifestyle, like, what are Slim and Tabitha gonna do? Like, be real. Like, we better off just being cool. Like, I didn't really see that personally taking off serious, even if she did see an interest in him anyway. But he's definitely cool with people. Like, you got your Houston credibility and whatnot. But I don't know if Tabitha was actually genuinely into that, even, had they not been on college campus and was like meeting at a concert or something. Even how he said he was in her DM and then like he got no response. Like, y'all are just from two different eras of that guy, in my opinion. Like, the type of that guy she interested in now, like, it's not giving Big Slim. You know what I mean? Like, he cool though, but cool from the OG perspective.
Yeah. And I will say Slim was definitely one of my faves on the show. He was, because I even liked, and was it episode 1 or 2 when he was actually trying to get to know Frida and get to and understand, her pronouns, because a lot of men don't try to understand it, but he actually was trying. So I really appreciated that. I was like, oh, he's such a good dude.
Yeah.
And so he was one of my faves. That was one of my faves.
Yeah, man. Listen, Slim be chilling, and BET tried to make the trailer salacious and made it seem like it was going to be a showdown, and they really just had a real cool conversation. But I gotta say this, like, Slim Thug, like, the first thing I think of with Slim Thug now, like, I remember that Jeezy Gucci versus. And that's my favorite verses. And round 1 played. And then Gucci said, I'm Dirty South like Slim Thugger. Jeezy could make a hit with a Louisville Slugger. I'm like, oh my God. Like, that's what I remember from Slim Thug now. Still tipping. And the fact that Gucci really went there. I was Team Jeezy, but Gucci did. He said he couldn't hit with a Louisville Slugger, even though he did. He did make separate. My president's black, okay? You know what I'm saying? And then what? All right, listen. Like, we could go down the list of the hits that Jeezy made, all right? But still, that was a good line. But let's talk about just the overall aspect of College Hill and how you all were feeling about it. Like, I want to get a grade on it. Like, you all are professors, right? So I want you all to give the grade of what you give College Hill and what you, in general, liked about it, and in seasons that come after it, what you would like to see more from College Hill. I want to start with you, Shelbi.
So if I were to be honest, I'm really thinking in my head what kind of grade I would give. I'm thinking like a B-, C+ area. Because, even hearing from Domonique's point of view and the fact that she's an alumna of Texas Southern, and just, my own opinion mixed with that, I felt like it could have definitely been more. But I honestly, again, got tired of certain situations being drawn out. And I felt like that could have definitely been better. They need to fill it in with more beneficial things. Like you said, actually seeing them being a part of the organization that they chose to be a part of. We want to see more of that. But yeah, I would say either B-, C+, in between there. But altogether, I really do feel like they got an experience from it, definitely India, definitely Ray J, even though he didn't graduate, it was still an experience for him. Frida, Slim, it was experience for all of them. So at the end of the day, you know, the point was proven. But in the future, I just want to see more of, again, the campus life, and also I don't need the situations to be drawn out. Again, it was just too much about Ray J and his divorce and Stacey Dash not being able to get the steps on the dance team. So yeah.
No, that makes sense. Listen, like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk to Dream Doll, aka Tabitha. I'm gonna let you know you gave her a B, and and then just know you gonna get a phone call from a New York number. Just know that for a fact, because Tabitha don't like getting B's. That's after her. But Domonique, so listen, like we keep saying, you're a Texas Southern alumna. Like you were there when they were filming. First and foremost, congratulations to you, because that's an experience that I think that you're going to be able to carry with you your whole entire life. So for you as an alumna, what grade do you give College Hill Celebrity Edition? And what did you like about it? And what are some things that you would want to see from other seasons moving forward?
So overall, I'm going to give them a very clean C. And on and although I gave them a C, I just want to let them know that at midterms, like of them filming the show, it wasn't looking like a passing grade for me. So the fact that, after production was made, and I got to see, the finale of it, I did go ahead and boost their grade up to a C. The strengths in me giving them a C were promoting, and definitely the storyline that they did try to produce on the celebrities' behalf. I'm gonna go ahead and give them credit for the promoting, because the fact that the very key points in the same viral reels that are going around to this day, like aka an example, the fact that I really thought I was gonna have to drill Dream for the cheer team, and they literally didn't show anything outside of that. Hey, they didn't show anything outside of that in the entire show. Like I really thought we was gonna get a real Dream on the cheer team skit, and we did not. The only thing we've seen after that little small clip when we seen everyone in their their clubs was at the BET parade that they gave us when she had the outfit on and was performing. So we didn't see any real Dream and the cheer team vibe, and they did that a couple of times. Also, I guess how we didn't see Slim sworn in, but he just appeared with the sweater. I know other people was like, what's going on with that? Until they had senior interview. They were just like, where did this man get this SGA sweater from? Like, that's not how this works. You can't just put on that paraphernalia. And so like I was like, oh yeah, y'all really got us on the way that y'all advertised, and how like the clips that y'all advertised with were literally just clips. Even with the Stacey Dash and the Brianna thing. Outside of that, there was no more sensation in Stacey. Like it literally ended when Stacey ended. So yeah, y'all did an amazing job with the marketing, but y'all kind of catfishing in my opinion. But I'm gonna still, since y'all successfully catfish, I'm gonna applaud y'all for that from a marketing major. Kudos to y'all for like really just taking the points that y'all wanted to take to allow us to at least click on the show. And then the other strength behind that is the storyline. Like I said, like although it had nothing to do about the actual TSU campus, I did like the fact that all the celebrities did learn something, and in their selves, because in my perspective they still didn't really learn how to be a normal student, but y'all did still learn how to become a better person when life doesn't just fall at your feet. Like they knew they couldn't just call up their people and be like, hey, although Dream did fly out to New York for a teeth, and Ray J did fly out for his family in and out a couple times. Like for the most part, I love the fact that they understood they should at least finish through. And they did try the best of their abilities, and they did become vulnerable finally after the little celebrity attitudes that they had. And now the reason why they do only have a C is because there is a lot of dots that they should connect when it comes to actually speaking to the HBCU audience, or like the African American student audience as a whole. Y'all know, like at the end of the day, if you're gonna have celebrities represent such a huge voice, such as a HBCU campus, you're gonna have to show us, who doesn't have the luxury of knowing of HBCU, now that we know of it, what's in it, like what's in it for us, the actual Black kids student community, or the people of color community that wants to go to places like this. What is in it for us? Because Dream Doll having a realization moment and comparing it to, like, obstacles that she had to endure, it still doesn't really help me as a student in high school that now is looking forward to attending a school like Texas Southern University. So y'all really have to work on actually keeping the actual college relevant in the actual show. Although it's celebrity edition, the celebrities itself could have been like Cardi B tries new things. Cardi actually does goes and tries those things. You know, she doesn't like form let the things formate to her. Like she actually gets down and dirty. So they should have gotten way more down and dirty, in my opinion. And that's the biggest. That's why I'm taking the biggest points off of their grades, because it's like y'all kind of missed the main idea. I like the point that y'all did conclude to, but it missed the instructions that we, the College Hill viewers, would have actually liked to see, especially the people that actually attend college currently when the show was being produced. So
I also feel like they should have included, more history about the school too, because I know every freshman at Albany State University has to take ASU 1101. That's what you learn about the actual institution and what it offers and things like this. So I definitely felt like that could have been included too, just to kind of shine a light on the HBCU. So that was just something that I felt like could definitely be added in the future.
yeah, no, I agree on that. Yeah, just actually getting us, instead of just being a sponsor for the school and just allowing us to be a happy backdrop, like we should have actually just been involved. We should have been more than just the school that is happy to be here and happy to give you free things to wear as you're being in front of the camera. Like, yeah, we would have definitely liked to see a lot more of that. And then also, just to piggyback off of that really quickly before we move forward, I remember like vividly answering a question under one of their pages, the BET Plus Instagram page, one of them. And, they had like a little clip of the show. And somebody actually said in the comments, they asked the question, they were like, so did they actually get enrolled into the school? And I actually responded and I was like, well, if you consider them receiving an ID badge and, going to a couple of seminar classes, being actually enrolled, then yeah, they pretty much were enrolled in those circumstances. And the page actually responded and they were like, oh no, they were very much they did go to class and they received a certification. And I was like, my bad. Well, then they were enrolled into a campus to receive a certification program that's actually not even offered at our campus. So if that sounds better to them, then I was like, by all means, go for it. But like, it was very like that question, that response alone just showed that they didn't really think it through as far as the relevance of like the story and the certification program the celebrities were in, and like the actual excellence and the intelligence that the TSU campus actually had to offer. So they kind of like had them in their own world, in their own country, in the middle of like the continent of Texas Southern University. So that was kind of weird.
What's so crazy? I think I actually saw that comment. I think I saw it. Was it on the BET College Hill series page?
Yeah,
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. Like, I know exactly what comment you're talking about. That was you. That's great. That was you. Like, I definitely read that. So for me, I will give College Hill, like, y'all were acting very harsh in your grading, and I'm real harsh on Grownish, and that's like sort of what I've been for the past year. When we used to cover Grownish, I used to always really be harsh on them, and you would think that in the reviews I was giving and how I felt as if they weren't showcasing that experience, that I would give it like a C. I give it an A-. And I'm telling you the reason why I give it an A-. I believe that when we look at what College Hill was, especially the first two seasons that are banned, especially season 2 for a reason, and even talking to the season 2 Langston University cast when we played that earlier, I believe that they made their best attempt to really showcase the HBCU experience in a great way. There were some things they couldn't do. They could not put the signs and shields on camera because that's a licensing fee. There were some things that had to get cut out. And as someone that really studies media and has a communication degree, I understand how that can be. But I think with what they did do, if we get past the Stacey Dash situation, even the parts with Ray J, I liked it because he didn't graduate. That shows you if you come to my campus and you play around, you think that it's high school, you will not graduate. So I like that. I like that we saw the ending that Ray J did not graduate. I loved India's story. I loved how we saw a different side of Nene. I loved how Dream Doll really was someone that was trying to bring the house together, and she was there for everyone. And I love how Frida was displayed and how Frida really was the house mother, and she kept everyone together and kept the chemistry together. While I would have liked to have seen more of the Texas Southern experience, more of the campus, more of the HBCU experience, and more what happened outside of the classroom, I got to give them points for trying. And hopefully they see this. They listen to this. They listen to what HBCU alumni are saying. We don't hate the show. We just want to take this opportunity for you to promote our HBCUs and promote that experience. Because you got 854,000 people that watched it after the BET Awards when it premiered. That's great. But imagine those 854,000 people seeing the student center. Like, you know, it's like seeing the Greek plots, like seeing the whole side of the campus. They could have did a tour that first episode instead of showing Stacey Dash. They could have gave a tour and talked about the different portions of it. Like, so I think that there are points to grow. Now, I might not be as nice if the FAMU version, if they do a FAMU version, I don't have any sourcing on that. But I think FAMU will be a school they go to. Like, that they do the AUC. I think the AUC would be a place that they would go to. I would love to see more of the campus and the history, like even Shelbi stated. But my whole entire thing for me is that I like how they build upon it, and I would give them an A-. Okay, so they're gonna pass. They Frida, like they're gonna graduate top of the class with me. But Domonique, where can we find you on social media?
You can reach me on social media at Domo Obehi on Instagram. That's DOMOOBEHI. My main social media source is Instagram. However, you can catch me on your timeline on TikTok as well with the same social media handler. And those are my two social media pages.
And I love it. Yeah, you're gonna catch her a lot on HBCU Pulse. She's a new contributor on the platform. So make sure to check her out on there. But thank you so much, Domonique, for lending your experience to us. You're listening to HBCU Pulse Radio.